He's flying over basically the middle of nowhere when he sees a startling and unusual formation amongst the rocks below, which of course he photographs in a discovery that has reignited one of history's greatest mysteries. New evidence suggests that the legendary Noah's Ark may have finally been found. Hidden high in the rugged Turkish highlands, a mysterious ship-like formation has captured the attention of archaeologists, scientists worldwide. Could this be the remains of the Ark that, according to the Bible, survived the Great Flood? The discovery in Turkey. In 1959, a routine aerial reconnaissance mission led by Captain İlhan Durupinar of the Turkish army would unexpectedly spark a firestorm of excitement and controversy. As part of a NATO mapping project, Durupinar was tasked with photographing the remote and rugged terrain of the Turkish highlands, a region steeped in biblical lore and located just miles from the legendary Mount Ararat, the supposed resting place of Noah's Ark, according to Genesis. As Durupinar flew over the desolate landscape, his keen eye spotted something peculiar among the rocky crags below. The unusual formation, nestled in the mountains of eastern Turkey, bore an uncanny resemblance to a massive ship. Intrigued, Durupinar captured several photographs of the anomaly before returning to base, unaware that he may have just stumbled upon one of the greatest archaeological mysteries of our time. When the aerial photographs were developed and analyzed, experts were stunned by what they saw. There, etched into the barren Turkish landscape, was an unmistakable outline of a ship-like structure, measuring an astonishing 515 feet in length, a dimension remarkably close to the biblical description of Noah's Ark, which was said to be 300 cubits long, or roughly 450 feet. News of the discovery spread like wildfire, igniting a passionate debate among scholars, religious leaders, and skeptics alike. For those who had long believed in the literal truth of the biblical flood narrative, the Durupinar site represented a tantalizing piece of evidence, a potential confirmation of the Ark's existence that seemed to validate their unwavering conviction. Believers from around the world hailed the find as a milestone in biblical archaeology, their excitement palpable as they anticipated unraveling the secrets hidden within the mysterious formation. This discovery stood as a powerful symbol of faith's enduring influence, bridging ancient scripture and modern exploration. However, not everyone was convinced. Many scientists and archaeologists approached the discovery with a healthy dose of skepticism, arguing that the peculiar shape could easily be explained as a natural geological formation carved by the forces of erosion and weathering over countless millennia. The biblical flood narrative. At the heart of the fascination surrounding Noah's Ark lies the biblical account of the Great Flood, a cataclysmic event that has captivated the imaginations of generations. According to the book of Genesis, God looked upon the wickedness of humanity and determined that the earth had become corrupted beyond redemption. In his divine wisdom, he resolved to cleanse the world of its impurities and start anew. Amid this impending doom, one man found favor in the eyes of the Almighty: Noah, a righteous and blameless individual in his generation. God commanded Noah to build an ark, a massive vessel designed to preserve life in the face of the coming deluge. The dimensions of the ark were meticulously specified: 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits in width, and 30 cubits in height, equating to approximately 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet tall. For 120 years, Noah labored tirelessly to construct the ark, following the divine blueprint and using gopher wood, a now extinct species of timber, to craft the enormous ship. As the appointed time drew near, God instructed Noah to gather his family and a representative pair of every animal species on Earth, ensuring their survival and the continuation of life in the post-flood world. When the fateful day arrived, the heavens opened, and a torrential rain descended upon the earth, the likes of which had never been seen before or since. For 40 days and 40 nights, the floodwaters surged, consuming every inch of land and destroying all living things that drew breath. The ark, borne aloft by the rising waters, became a solitary beacon of hope amid the chaos and devastation. As the rain subsided and the floodwaters began to recede, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat, a sacred site that has long been associated with the biblical narrative. After more than a year adrift on the endless expanse of water, Noah and his family emerged from the ark, stepping out into a world reborn. The story of Noah's Ark and the Great Flood holds immense theological significance, standing as a powerful symbol of God's judgment against sin and his unwavering commitment to the preservation of righteous life. It serves as a reminder of the consequences of moral decay and the importance of obedience and trust in the face of adversity. However, the nature and extent of the biblical flood have been the subject of much debate among scholars and believers alike. Some interpret the account as a literal description of a global cataclysm, while others view it as a metaphorical or localized event, possibly inspired by ancient flood myths from the Near East. Geological evidence for a historical flood. As the debate surrounding the historical accuracy of the biblical flood narrative rages on, a remarkable discovery in the late 20th century added a new dimension to the discussion. In 1997, a team of geologists led by William Ryan and Walter Pittman of Columbia University uncovered compelling evidence of a massive flood in the Black Sea region, an event that could potentially correspond with the timing and location of the biblical deluge. Known as the Black Sea Deluge theory, Ryan and Pittman's research suggests that around 5600 BC, the Black Sea was a freshwater lake, isolated from the Mediterranean Sea by the Bosporus Strait. As global temperatures rose following the last ice age, melting glaciers caused sea levels to rise dramatically. When the Mediterranean finally breached the Bosporus, a catastrophic flood ensued, with water pouring into the Black Sea basin at an astonishing rate of 200 times the volume of Niagara Falls. The impact of this deluge would have been nothing short of apocalyptic for the Neolithic farming communities that thrived along the shores of the ancient lake. As the floodwaters surged, entire settlements were submerged, forcing people to flee for their lives and seek refuge on higher ground. The trauma of this event, Ryan and Pittman argue, could have been passed down through generations, evolving into the flood myths that permeate so many ancient cultures, including the biblical story of Noah. Supporting the Black Sea deluge theory is a wealth of sedimentary and fossil evidence recovered from the depths of the Black Sea. Core samples taken from the sea floor reveal a distinct transition from freshwater to saltwater sediments, indicating a rapid and dramatic change in the basin's environment. The presence of ancient river valleys and shorelines, now submerged beneath hundreds of feet of water, further attests to the scale and impact of the flood. Perhaps most intriguing is the discovery of freshwater fossils, including shells and plant remains, buried deep within the saltwater sediments of the Black Sea. These fossils, some dating back more than 7,000 years, provide a tantalizing glimpse into the ecosystems that once thrived in the region before the deluge transformed the landscape forever. While the Black Sea deluge theory does not conclusively prove the existence of Noah's Ark or the biblical flood, it offers a compelling case for the occurrence of a major flood event in the ancient Near East, one that could have left an indelible mark on the collective memory of the region's inhabitants. As scientists continue to explore the depths of the Black Sea and unravel the secrets of its past, we may yet gain a clearer understanding of the complex interplay between history, myth, and the enduring power of human storytelling. The implications of the Black Sea deluge extend far beyond the realm of biblical archaeology. If such a flood did occur, it would have had a profound impact on the development of early human civilizations in the region. The sudden inundation of vast areas of land would have displaced entire populations, forcing them to migrate to new territories and adapt to unfamiliar environments. This upheaval could have facilitated the spread of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices across the ancient world, shaping the course of human history in ways we are only beginning to understand. Moreover, the parallels between the Black Sea deluge and flood myths from other ancient cultures raise intriguing questions about the universality of such stories and the shared experiences that may have inspired them. Ancient texts and flood myths. The quest to unravel the mysteries surrounding Noah's Ark and the Great Flood has led researchers and scholars to delve into the rich tapestry of ancient texts and flood myths that have captivated human imagination for millennia. Among these ancient narratives, the Epic of Gilgamesh stands as a striking parallel to the biblical flood story, offering tantalizing clues about the shared memory of a cataclysmic event that may have shaped the course of human history. The Epic of Gilgamesh, an ancient Mesopotamian text that predates the Bible by centuries, tells the tale of a great hero king who embarks on a quest for immortality. Central to this epic is the story of Utnapishtim, a righteous man who is warned by the gods of an impending flood that will destroy all life on earth. Instructed to build a massive ark and fill it with his family, animals, and the seeds of all living things, Utnapishtim survived the deluge and was granted eternal life by the gods. The similarities between the flood narrative in the Epic of Gilgamesh and the biblical story of Noah's Ark are nothing short of remarkable. Both tales involve a divinely ordained flood, a righteous hero tasked with building an ark, and the preservation of life through the catastrophe. The parallels are so striking that many scholars believe the two stories may have a common origin, perhaps rooted in a historical event that left an indelible mark on the collective memory of ancient Mesopotamia. Adding to the intrigue is the discovery of a 4,000-year-old clay tablet in the British Museum, which contains yet another flood narrative that bears an uncanny resemblance to the story of Noah's Ark. The tablet, deciphered by Dr. Irving Finkel, a renowned expert in ancient Mesopotamian languages, describes a circular ark with detailed instructions for its construction, and a story of divine warning and the survival of a righteous man and his family. The significance of Dr. Finkel's translation cannot be overstated. The clay tablet not only provides further evidence of the widespread nature of flood myths in the ancient Near East, but also suggests that the story of a great deluge and a life-saving ark may have been part of a shared cultural heritage that extended far beyond the biblical narrative. As researchers continue to explore the world of ancient texts, they have uncovered a wealth of flood myths from cultures across the globe, each with its own unique twist on the tale of a catastrophic deluge and the survival of a chosen few. From the Hindu legend of Manu and the fish avatar of Vishnu, to the Greek myth of Deucalion and Pyrrha, and even to the flood stories of Native American tribes, the prevalence of these narratives hints at the possibility of a shared memory of a significant flood event in human prehistory. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The Noah's Ark story and the biblical flood were long thought to be unconnected to science, but then revelations were made due to discoveries of ancient sea animals on mountains, suggesting that massive floods covered the earth in the past. And now, scientists finally found evidence for Noah's Ark. Advanced radar imaging has revealed a startling discovery beneath Mount Tenderek in eastern Turkey. A massive ship-shaped anomaly buried deep. Its dimensions, over 500 feet long and 100 feet wide, align remarkably with the biblical description of Noah's Ark. Scientists are now eager to conduct advanced studies for definitive proof. However, the challenging terrain of the mountain and various restrictions are causing problems. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. The Darupanar Site Investigation. Nestled in the rugged mountains of eastern Turkey, the Darupanar site has long been a focal point for those seeking tangible evidence of Noah's Ark. This peculiar geological formation, which bears an uncanny resemblance to a massive ship, has captivated the imaginations of researchers, adventurers, and believers alike, sparking a series of investigations that have sought to unravel the secrets of this enigmatic location. The early expeditions to the Darupanar site, led by intrepid researchers such as Dr. Arthur Brandenberger and Dr. Ron Wyatt, were driven by a passionate belief in the literal truth of the biblical flood narrative. Armed with little more than their faith, determination, and a handful of basic survey tools, these pioneers of Ark research conducted initial surveys and excavations at the site, hoping to uncover conclusive evidence that the peculiar formation was indeed the remains of Noah's legendary vessel. As interest in the Darupanar site grew, more sophisticated scientific investigations began to take shape. Geological surveys, employing advanced techniques such as